What's up, guys? So, I'm really excited about this concept of the inner enemy becoming an ally. So often we hear these different concepts of, like, I got these demons inside, or I got these negative emotions that take me out. And the reality is our brain is broken up, our mind is broken up into different parts. We have our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our higher self, our spirituality. And then obviously we have our physical body. And so often, what's happened, and I won't go too deep into this in this video, but I will at a later time. Our subconscious mind, or unconscious mind, as a lot of people prefer to call it, is very powerful. The reason we choose to call it unconscious over subconscious is subconscious makes it seem like it's lesser. The truth is, if we harness it correctly, it can be far more powerful for us in accomplishing our purpose. So the way that the unconscious mind works is it's trained over time by our conscious thought, our decisions, and it's so advanced that it learns to adopt those things and just run those programs automatically. So if you think about it, there's a lot of things that we don't have to consciously think about anymore. Once we move to a new neighborhood and we've been driving around, eventually we just can come from work to home without really thinking about which road do I turn on. Oh, there's a red light, better stop. Like, our mind just does that while we listen to the radio, or we have a conversation, or we think, or whatever, right? Our unconscious mind frees up space for our conscious mind to be actively thinking. The problem comes in when our conscious thoughts and experiences have trained our unconscious mind to run patterns that don't serve us. So in this week, a lot of what we're looking at is our our mentality, our belief systems, right? This idea of the king mentality is noticing, what is my coming to my mind automatically. And for a lot of us, we have these things like you're not good enough, you're not lovable, you're not smart enough. Those came to be because somewhere in the past we had an experience or multiple experiences, and we consciously thought, oh, I'm not good enough, or someone said we weren't good enough, and we trained our unconscious mind to run that pattern. And so now we see that bleeding into different areas of our life. So there's this book I really enjoy called The Untethered Soul, and he talks about this concept about the inner roommate. And I like the idea of the inner enemy, because I've had times where I've noticed I have trained my unconscious mind not to serve me, not to enliven my life, but to run the pattern of fear or limitations or unworthiness. And so, what we want to do is we want to start to notice, how have we trained this inner enemy to keep us from our potential, right? And so, if you think about it, you have these things you want to accomplish. You consciously want to accomplish them. I've seen it in the chats. I want to be a better man. I want to be a better husband. I want to date my wife. I want to serve my kids. I want to do better with my finances. Those are our conscious thoughts. We want those. We consciously are committed to those. But then what happens? We don't do them. Our unconscious mind runs the show, and it runs whatever patterns we've created. It overrides our conscious thought by running those old patterns. And so you've seen this in quotes, and I've mentioned this before, this concept of all change comes through conscious decision, right? And we make those decisions again and again until the unconscious is trained to run those new patterns, just like driving home when you get to a new area, again and again until your mind goes, oh, this is how we do it now. So if we have a pattern of, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't be successful, and we've run that, I don't know, a million times since we were a young boy until now, we need to uninstall that old line of thinking, and we need to reinstall a new way of thinking where our mind automatically goes, yep, I'm a king, yep, I'm capable, yep, I can do that. So that's where we want to head. Tomorrow, when we do the Relinquish and Rise, it's about releasing these old patterns of thought and belief on a very deep level into the subconscious, unconscious mind. And then we can start to rewrite new beliefs, right? We've all had experiences where it's like, I know I'm good enough. I know I'm lovable, but I don't feel it. It's like it's not a part of me. if I'm consciously thinking those things, I can hold on to them. A couple weeks ago, I even made this comment and asked guys online. I said, how many times have you been doing affirmations and you're like, oh, I'm amazing and I'm lovable and I'm good, and then this other part of your mind is going, BS, BS, right? So I want you to become aware of this inner enemy, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into an ally. Okay, we're going to say, okay, you're telling us things that aren't serving us. You're being an enemy to us, and there's a reason for that we'll go deeper into. The mind is built to protect us. There's this really great concept that says the unconscious mind, the mind in general, is not built to seek happiness first. It seeks protection first. It wants us to feel safe. And so somehow when the mind goes, oh, you can't do it, it can feel like a negative inner enemy, but it's trying to protect us from pain of failure or rejection or whatever. Okay. And so the next video, I'm going to guide you through a process where we start to get awareness of we are not that inner voice. We may have trained that inner voice not to work for us, but one, we don't have to listen to it, and two, we can take back conscious choice and we can retrain it to work the way we want it to. And so what we're going to start to look at day to day is we have these external experiences, right? The things that are happening outside us, and they activate something inside of us, right? We talked about these ideas of triggers and sometimes flooding. And so we want to start to be aware, what are these external events, situations? What does it activate inside for us? And what dialogue begins to happen? So often what we notice first is the emotional state, but there's some thought that guides the emotional state, that dumps those chemicals, whether it's fear, anxiety, depression, whatever, okay? And then what we're going to learn to do is even take a step back from those thoughts and those emotions and go, hey, there's kind of this inner thing happening, but I'm not consciously choosing that. I'm not going, I think I want to tell myself I'm worthless in this situation because my wife was disappointed in me, right? That's not conscious thought. So what we want to learn to do is step back even further and go, okay, external event, my wife was disappointed. Ooh, internal, that activated this thought of I'm not good enough. Ooh, and there's some fear there. Do I want to go into fear? Do I want to believe I'm not good enough? Do I want to flood and start a fight? Or do I want to be back further in my conscious choice and go, you know what? She's disappointed. That's okay. I'm capable of apologizing. I'm capable of understanding. I'm capable of comforting. And I can get us back to where I want to be instead of a fight or a conflict or me shutting down or whatever. I'm hoping that example makes sense. And so in this next guided visualization, we're going to start a process of stepping back from external events, stepping back from internal dialogue, noticing what this enemy within might be saying, and transforming it and retraining it to be an ally. Awesome, guys.